specialist, Troy Sartors, is here to do what he do. So make some noise for Troy Sartors.
Dad jokes, gosh. Actually, I don't do very many dad jokes. Part of it is because I'm old. Yeah, I know, some of you guys you looked up here and said, oh wow, look, that guy's old. That's okay, I know I'm old because I am now a grandpa. Yeah, and if you doubt that, my little granddaughter's right over there eating right now. I tried to give her some coffee, but I wasn't allowed. But it's okay. I know I'm old, you know? I mean, I was at my very first open mic at a different place to try stand up for the first time, and a guy went before me, and he was telling all these old jokes, and then he said he was 38. Anybody in here over 38? Right. So the first thing in my head is, you ain't old. You know, the great thing about that phrase, you ain't old, I'm sure like you could be turning 100 at the retirement home, and some 101-year-old person is going to go, yeah, you ain't old. You know, my daughter works at a retirement home. She's nodding, you know. But I know I'm old too because I grew up in the 70s. Anybody in here remember the 70s? Hey, good deal, yeah. Yeah, see, back in the 70s, we didn't even know the meaning of the word safety. Part of it was because we couldn't spell very good, and the only way you could look up the meaning was to look in the dictionary. And, you know, there wasn't any Google or anything like that. So, one reason I think we didn't know the meaning of the word safety too was it was a product of our times. The 70s. I mean, the 70s, we didn't care about safety. One of the things that we loved to do back in the 70s was, you know, play with different toys. And one of the hot products back then was lawn darts. Some of you guys know about lawn darts. You guys know what a regular dart is? I'm not talking about one with the suction cup or magnet or Velcro or Nerf. I'm talking about the real darts, you know, with the metal pointed in, and you throw it at stuff. Lawn darts are like giant ones of those with a sharp metal spike on the end that's weighted. And the great way you would do lawn darts is you would fling them up in the air and try and hit the round target in the rest of your lawn. Well, the dogs are running around and the kids are playing. See, the great thing about the 70s too was that anybody could buy lawn darts. If you had the money and you were a 7-year-old kid, you could go up and buy your very own lawn darts. There was no checking IDs, a waiting period to find out if you could have lawn darts. No. You know, but we had great celebrity role models back then. And I think that was part of the reason that we didn't care about safety. One of the role models I remember the most was a guy named Evel Knievel. Another reason we couldn't spell well, because his name was E-V-E-L. That's not how you spell evil. But anyway, Evel Knievel, if you don't know who he was a guy that liked to jump things. Now I'm not talking he just liked to jump things. He would ride his motorcycle dressed like Elvis, basically, in his jumpsuit, and he would jump over long lines of cars, buses, sometimes sharks. And he was great at jumping things. And they would always put on the TV, you know, don't try this at home, train professional. The problem with Evel Knievel was nobody taught the guy how to land. He was great at jumping things, he just wasn't great at landing. That's why one of his other things that he was famous for was during his career, he broke almost every bone in his body. And that was one of our role models. We had toys of that guy, man. You can buy little toys of Evel Knievel and make them jump things, you know? It was awesome. But that's part of the reason, we didn't care about safety. Another thing, though, is like, I know I'm old because, driving just drives me bonkers. One of the things is, who took driver's ed? Anybody? Yeah, great. Sometimes you take driver's ed, and sometimes your kid just gets a permit, and you try and teach them how to drive. I'm looking at my oldest daughter over there, because that's what we did with her. And then 2 others came around, and we paid for somebody to teach them how to drive. That's a scary situation. The other day, I'm out driving, and I see a dad or a grandfather teaching the teenage boy how to drive. You could tell that's what was going on, because the teenage boy's driving, and he's coming up to a stoplight. We're facing this way, he's over here, and he gets over into the wrong lane, and then he's taking a left, and he's going really slow, taking that left into QT. The thing that made this so amazing is they were in a 2022 red Corvette. He's teaching this kid how to drive in a car that costs more than my house. Okay? I'm sorry, when I learned how to drive, we had jalopies. Something that if you wrecked it, you weren't out all that money. I could not believe this. But, I guess one of the things about that is I've never had a new car. Ever. I mean, the car I'm driving right now is the newest car I've ever had, and it's a 2004 Honda Accord. And the only way I get the new car smell is to buy an air freshener. Right. Now, speaking of that, too, anybody ever have one of those tree air fresheners you hang on your rear view? Okay, yeah. I saw a car the other day that had a whole forest of those. I'm talking, it wasn't just on the rear view. They were in different parts of the car. It was parked, and I was thinking, man, these people either have kids, animals, or there's 2 dead bodies in that trunk, man. But I wasn't about to check. One day, the funny thing on that is one day, my oldest son, we came home and there was a Mercedes in part of my yard. It was just there, and because I have a weird side yard thing, and it sat there for a few days. So we're trying to investigate to find out what's going on with this Mercedes. It wasn't a new Mercedes, but finally we go out there and we start investigating. And my oldest son the whole time was hoping that there would be a dead body in the trunk. I was not. Like I said, I don't buy anything new. You can tell. I mean, I buy all my clothes at Goodwill because I want somebody else to take that depreciation for me, Hey, you guys have been great. Next week, I will be at Blue Well Comedy Festival on Saturday. So, if you guys plan on going, you might not catch me, but you're going to catch a bunch of great comics. So, please go.
One more time for Troy Sartors, everybody.